From the MLB All-Star Games to horse races like the Belmont Stakes, our next guest is the master of 3D pop art, and he is the artist of the Super Bowl. We have Charles Fazzino. He has painted more than, what, 10 Super Bowls? That's incredible.
That is pretty awesome. And Charles, today you are joining us in the studio to talk art and what you've got cooking this coming week. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me here in Houston. I'm excited to be here.
Your story is so cool because you started off, as many artists do, a starving street artist. Today, you are clearly doing much better.
Okay.
The official artist of the Super Bowl. But I want to talk a little bit first about your style, because what you create is very unusual, very different than what we typically see.
People always say that when they see my artwork, they say, wow, this is really something very different. And doing it since 1981, it's just like to hear that after all these years and all these events, it's just very exciting.
Well, because it's three-dimensional, anytime you move around the painting or you've got a helmet over there, it changes for you, doesn't it?
It sure does. Because it is 3D and things are layered, when you look at it from different angles, you get a different perspective. It's kind of interesting how it works.
Let's talk about this first piece here. This is a limited edition, and guys from home, again, this is one of the 3D pieces. I'm not sure if you at home can see, but this has multiple layers. In fact, like a piece like this is standing away. It's standing about an inch and a half off the canvas.
If we move it a little bit, if that gives you that
maybe
effect
like
a
more
little
of a
bit.
side.
If you haven't seen the artwork, it's sort of like a pop-out children's book. It's layered, and there's pieces on top of pieces. I almost call it like layering it like a lasagna. So there's pieces on top of pieces. Everything is first start off as a handmade print. Then the prints are then cut out by hand by my staff and I in my studios in New York. We cut and glue each piece by hand, layer with an X-Acto knife with glue in between, building up the layers. So each piece is sort of unique and done all by hand.
Let's move on to the helmet.
Charles, we got to move on to the bling, because you know, in Texas, we love our rhinestones here.
Yeah.
So this is so awesome. I've actually been social mediaing about this one. It's really amazing.
Well, I create these helmets every year for the different Super Bowls and All-Star games. Years ago, the NFL said to me, what can you do with these helmets? And I said, well, I'll try to paint. It took me a few years to figure out how to make the paint and the paper stick to the helmets, but now they look just beautiful. I hand paint each one, my staff and I. We cut them out, glue them, we shoot them with car glaze, and then embellish them with Swarovski crystals. And then they're shown and sold and created for different celebrity players, artists.
And maybe even worn on the field. Or not.
Really good.
Just joking. Okay, in addition to the 3D pieces, you've also created the official Super Bowl poster.
Yes, and I've created it every year since I started doing Super Bowl in 2000 in Tampa. I'd like to have something from my collection that you see for everybody. You know, whether you see it here at one of the art galleries or the NFL Experience, for instance. This is a $25 poster. It has the hologram on the bottom, and it shows it's the exact same, similar image to the three-dimensional pieces, but it completes the collection for me to have something that is
within my budget.
Exactly.
I know, it's like $25.
$25.
Charles, I can afford this one.
But the 3D pieces are up to $2,000.
Let's talk time. I'm sure the 3D pieces take a lot longer, but just to do the poster itself, how much time do you have to put into that?
Well, I go back and forth with the NFL. I do sketches first and drawings of the area. For instance, Houston is easy for me. My wife is from Galveston, so even though I'm a New Yorker, and I've come down to Houston for many years, so I know the area. So when I had to draw it, it was just easy. So when I created the drawings for the NFL, it was kind of easy. I knew what to put in. You know, had to include all the traffic that you have here in Houston.
Of course.
We got that.
Lastly,
we got that.
This is a limited edition piece, the Super Bowl 50.
Yes. This you can see, and anybody who's in the area, you know, down here, for instance, I have a gallery showing my work at the Off-the-Wall Boutique here on level 1 near Neiman Marcus. You can actually see the pieces here, and this piece commemorates 50 years of Super Bowl. I created it last year because it was the big 50 years for San Francisco.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have this year's in it, but because it kind of fits all together with 50 spaces. So it was created last year to really have people look at the piece and enjoy that 50 Super Bowl experience.
And if people
that
want to see,
everybody has at home.
if people want to see your
During
pieces
Super
in
Bowl.
person, you have a pop-up shop where they can see.
Yes, I'll be at the NFL Experience, and I will be in the NFL shop tonight with Whitney Merciless signing. Yes, at 5 o'clock. I will be here on Friday at 5 o'clock also, signing at the Off the Wall boutique. And I'll be doing also signings with Andre Hall. I'll be with Rashad Jennings.
We got to leave it there,
Come down
Charles.
to the shop. You can, get a signature, get a poster.
People can check out Fazzino.com for more on Charles, too. Thank you, Charles.